Back in 2009, the former Buckeye three-time All-American James Laurinaitis was sitting in those very shoes waiting for his name to be called to the St. Louis Rams. He joins us now by the phone. James, not to make you feel old, but that was nearly a decade ago, back when your name was called in the NFL draft. Nonetheless, still want to pick your brain. What are some of these players experiencing as they look ahead to the few days they have left leading into the NFL draft?
Gosh, you're right. Well, it does make me feel old. Thank you. But I think what it does, you have so much anxiety just about where you're going to go play football. At least for me, I did. And it wasn't really about what number you were going to get picked. It was just the fact of what city am I going to be living in? How far would I be away from family? At that time, I was dating my now wife, Shelly, and so she still had school in Columbus, so you're wondering how far away you could be from her. There's a whole lot of things that kind of factor into your nerves. But, as a football guy, you're like, goodness, I just want to get there and work. There's all this stuff about the underwear Olympics, that is the combine, and all this stuff that has nothing to do with hitting somebody and playing football. I was like, let's get back on a practice field and then let me kind of try to prove to my new team, that I was worth the pick.
What's the mindset of some of these players, you think, lending off of your experience, the Saquon Barkleys, the Denzel Wards? What are they experiencing and even doing these next couple of days as they prepare themselves?
Well, goodness, I think you're just trying to figure out your draft day stuff. I don't know which guys are going to be there. For a guy like Saquon Barkley, goodness, he's going to find out really early, I believe, where he's going. And even a guy like Denzel Ward. And so I think a lot of these guys just depend, whether you're a first-round guy. I think you're a first-round guy, at least a top 15 pick. You're pretty relaxed. If you're one of those guys with the way the structure is now and you're thinking, goodness, I can go anywhere from 25 till 40, and that's kind of the guy that I was. I was a guy that I thought my earliest I could go was probably around 22, and the late I was going to go was 40, and I went at 35. So I was kind of like, you're in that in between. Luckily for me, I didn't have the day one, day two kind of breakup that these guys have to go through now.
Saquon Barkley was a name you just mentioned who is definitely going to go in day one. You've seen a lot of running backs in your time spent in the NFL. How does Saquon Barkley measure up compared to some of the guys that you've played against and some of the guys you've experienced?
Yeah, I tell you what, I was thinking about this today, and he reminds me a little bit of David Johnson from the Cardinals. I played against David early in his career and played him twice a year when I was with the Rams. And he's not as big as David is, but you talk about just the versatility, the ability to run hard between the tackles, the home run ability, the explosiveness, and also the fact that he is such a good receiver, and being able to put him out. If he goes to an offense, and David had Bruce Arians at the time, if he goes to an offense that knows how to utilize him and understands, like, listen, if anyone's going to put a linebacker on this guy, let's just try to attack him through the passing game. And if they try to put a DB out there, let's motion him back in and run the football with him. He is so talented. And then another comp would be, Zeke Elliott. Again, maybe not as, I guess muscular as Zeke is or looks coming out. But goodness, this guy, tell you what, his lower body strength matches Zeke Elliott. His home run ability matches Zeke Elliott. And I would argue he's a better pass receiver than Zeke is coming out of college. So I think that the floor is extremely high for Saquon, and I think the ceiling is even higher. His floor is going to be, look, if he comes in, he's going to be very productive, and the ceiling for him is he could be wearing a gold jacket. I think he's one of those players.
Well, James, great to have you on. Thank you so much for the time. We appreciate your insight on the upcoming NFL draft.
Awesome.